Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to this month's Caregiver Solutions. I am Dana Cameron from Vantage Aging. Today we are presenting our speaker from Metro Regional Transit Authority. Metro is a quasi-government entity supported by Summit County sales tax dollars that provides public transportation throughout the city with connections to neighboring counties. This August, Metro will have been on the road for 55 years, offering various programs to help our neighbors travel to various destinations. As a public entity, Metro continually strives to rework existing programs to help passengers get to where they want to be safely, efficiently, and on time. I would like to welcome our speaker, Bambi Lynn Miller. Thank you for being here. Having been at Metro for nearly 17 years, Bambi is currently the Director of Community Impact and Responsibility. She concentrates on collaboration, drawing upon the plethora of relationships fostered over the years, with her attention focused on mobility options and working within the community to bring about needed programming. Bambi was formerly the director of SCAT, which included all paratransit programs, small buses, including ADA, the Customer Care Center, client eligibility, advocacy training, as well as travel training. Under Bambi's leadership, Metro became the non-emergency transportation NET broker for Medicaid-approved clients through a contract with Summit County Department of Job and Family Services. She is most proud of her team and the positive differences they are making in the community. Prior to 2007, originally from Summit County, Bambi has worked in private industry for nearly 30 years, from Akron to Los Angeles and New York City, from Phoenix to Scottsdale, and back to Akron. Working with and alongside titans of industry and politics across the country, she was drawn to return to family and her hometown to give back to the community that gave her so much. This is an interesting fact too. She has also co-written a business book for entrepreneurs, How to Save Your Business from Yourself. Welcome, Bambi.
Thank you very much, Dana. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And thank you everyone for listening. Metro is the public transportation entity in Summit County. So we're the big buses and the small buses out there. And I just want to share some of that with all of you. Next slide, please. Thank you. As of last year, we had 127 large buses on the road. Those 4 of those were electric, so they're very, very quiet and green. You'll notice that our buses are maybe in front of you when you're driving down the road, and you'll notice how many bus stop signs are out there when you're behind a bus, but we're moving people every day, all day long. We have 92 small buses as well, and those are separate programs like the Senior SCAT and ADA programs. And every one of our vehicles are accessible. That is mandated by the federal government under the Americans with Disabilities Act. So everything that we have is accessible. Anyone can get onto that bus. Next slide, please. So we are trying to divest ourselves from diesel buses as they age out. Of our large buses, we have 11 that are diesel and 114 that are compressed natural gas. We have a compressed natural gas operation on site. Our smaller buses are 23 diesel buses and 82 unleaded buses. And the electric buses are named Jolt, Volt, Devo, and my personal favorite, Flash Borden. I'm a big Queen fan. We also have that CNG bus facility, and we have electric charging stations right next to our main building on Kenmore Boulevard in Kenmore. So we transported over 4 million people last year. And in 2023, we were still kind of recovering from COVID. We were coming out of it, but all public transportations throughout the country have noticed that they come back to working back in the offices, and people moving around has kind of been a slow rollout, but we transported 4 million people safely on Metro Direct. That is the big buses. By transporting that many people, we we're on the road for over 3.7 million miles, and we now operate 365 days a year. We're open during every holiday and have service 7 days a week. So Metro Direct is a nice marketing term for line service, fixed route, big bus. I mean, we all call it a number of things. It's that bus that stops at the routes that we put together to try to pick up the most people we can to get people to work, to the grocery store, wherever they need to go. We have free travel training. Some people have never ridden a bus. Others haven't ridden a bus since they were younger. And we try to make a very safe environment for people to learn how to operate the system. We have people come in, we talk about being an advocate for themselves, how to ride the bus before we actually go out and ride the bus together. You know, you need to know when to pay your fare, how to pay your fare in the fare box, and how to let that driver know that, you know, you want to get off at, you know, the third stop coming up. So we do all that in a nice, safe environment, and then we shadow our folks for a while until we're sure that they're confident of what they're doing on the buses and can ride successfully. The fare is $1.25 per ride. It's been that way for a number of years. $2.50 for an all-day pass means you can ride all day long, as many times, get on and off as many times as you need to. And seniors and persons with disabilities are 50 cents. Now that's our current pricing. And we just try to make things accessible for everyone. We want people to be able to use us to get around. You know, a lot of people don't necessarily have a car. And some of the people that we're working with maybe should not be behind the wheel anymore, and our adult children kind of would rather that they not drive. So we have a number of different options for people. Metro Select is the smaller buses. So there are the little purple buses that are around, and there are still some white buses around with a Metro logo and ADA service. We had just almost 184,000 trips last year, and that was 1.8 million revenue miles. And again, we do not operate SCAT Senior on weekends, only weekdays and no holidays. But Metro ADA service is 365 because that mirrors the big bus for someone who cannot access a bus stop under the Americans with Disabilities Act. So we're busy. We're out there, you know, tires are on the road all day long. So ADA is a special little program that we operate. It is complimentary service provided for people who cannot access that bus stop for one reason or another. And it's curb to curb from their home. Now, the interesting thing is, if you have a disability, you may qualify as someone with a disability, but perhaps you're not within 3/4 of a mile from your home of an active bus stop. I live 1.5 miles off of Arlington. If my husband were to qualify with his disability, he would qualify under one section, but not the other because we're too far away from a bus stop. But if I could get him into that 3/4 mile area, then he could ride the small bus and go wherever the big bus goes. So and I'm very visual. So if you see a big bus going down the road, imagine there's a lasso on the top going around a radius, and there's a small bus attached. If you're within that 3/4 mile area and there's a bus stop coming by, then we can set a trip for you at that time. It's just to make it equal service to someone who can walk to the bus and get on the big bus. We do this throughout Summit County. We have 23 routes, and it costs $2.50 each time you board. And someone who is ADA qualified can also take a personal care attendant with them at no charge. This could be a spouse, this could be an adult child, this could be one of your children, anyone that you take with you that performs one of life's necessary functions for you. That brings us to Metro SCAT. SCAT Senior is a very special service that started at Metro a number of years ago. We took over some service that the city was running, and it's kind of in fabric of our community. It operates within Summit County. It's curb to curb service. That means that small bus goes to your house, stays out on the road in front of your house, and we will go to your door and assist you to the bus and take you where you need to go. A medical appointment throughout the county, grocery within 6 miles, nursing home visit, or if you go to work. That's $2 each time you board, and you can bring a companion with you, but that will cost another $2. And we need to know that ahead of time, just so we can plan out how many people are going to be on that bus. This is a fantastic service that we operate with heart. It certainly is a very expensive service to operate, but it's very important to this community and to our seniors. Similar to that is SCAT temporary, which means you're temporarily not 62 yet. It's for someone who has a qualifying disability, and it's very similar to SCAT service. It's a little less service, but generally will take you to medical or grocery or work or one or the other. And that is the same fare. That does require an application, where SCAT senior is proof of age and proof of residency, and that's the only thing we know we need to get you hooked up. So we can actually do that over the phone, and with you scanning some documents on your phone and sending us an email, and we can get you set up. We also have Call of Us. This is a pretty unique program as well. It is was designed because our county is that of a bowling alley. So we are situated closer to the southern end of the county. But then when you get up to the northern county, there's not a lot of service up there. And when you get to the southern county in green, there's no service there either. So we came up with a curb-to-curb service on that small bus that operates entirely within those geographic regions. It doesn't go outside that geographic region. So you need to be picked up there, dropped off in the same green, or in the northern county. It does have access to a Metro line service bus. So from there, you can then leapfrog into the rest of the county and travel as you wish. This has no restrictions on who you are or where you live or how old you are or anything else that's going on with your physical being. It's simply where you are geographically. And because that is such a different service, that is $4 each time you board. We just recently had another push in the city of Green, so that their residents can move about the county as well and then hook up with the number 2. Great service. Just wanted to let you know, regionally, Metro does think beyond our borders. There is a transit center, the Robert K. Papp Transit Center, named for our previous executive director, on Broadway downtown. From that hub, you can access Greyhound, SARTA, PARTA. The RU is now operated by Metro as well. So you can get into Stark County under SARTA. You can get into Portage County under PARTA. And Greyhound now has Barron's coming in, and I think Go Bus comes. I'm not quite sure. But you can certainly get to other cities and states from that service as well. And it's green. So we're trying to minimize our footprint. At the center, it's a gold LEED building. We have all those neat things, geothermal energy. This was built in 2009, it opened up. So this was all cutting edge stuff from when we first started. And many times in the last 12 years, we have been the largest array of solar panel business in the state. Many different times we have solar panels on top of that roof, on top of our bus barns in Kenmore Boulevard, and on top of our building. We try to recycle everything we can, and we try to provide our passengers who are coming through the transit center to get to somewhere else, to another bus, amenities like Wi-Fi. There is a cafe in the center, and then we also have customer service to help people out or to buy tickets. Community input is not only essential, but it's important to us. So we have not changed our routes in over 20 years. And we all had this great idea in 2019 that we should have, go through a strategic planning purposeful study, which a lot of us do and we're required to do. And we had excellent timing because we started it right as COVID started. We'd already rolled it out a little bit, so we kind of kept rolling, but found a different way to do that during COVID. We met with everyone we could meet with. We went to every meeting that was available. We all became Zoom experts, except for sharing your screen. I did not become an expert at that. And we talked to everyone we possibly could, asking them what they wanted, where they wanted the buses to go, what was convenient for them, what they liked and what we were doing, and what they wished that we would do in the future. So we met with everyone that would talk to us. We purposely put together focus groups of people who aren't normally asked those questions so that they have input. And then we put all that together with a consultant, and we came out with a reimagined metro scenario that rolled out about a year ago now. And our promise, which in 17 years was the first time I actually heard this, and I know we meant it, constant input and constant tweaking of the system. So we have been doing that for every sign up since June. So we've made changes in the last pretty much 4 quarters. And we're going to continue to do that to make sure that we reach the people that need us, so that we're available for people who want to ride Metro and need to ride Metro. Yeah, so we do that. We pretty much did the whole system all over again. So that pretty much talks about what I talked about. Yeah, I guess I had 2 great slides in there that look pretty much the same. Innovative programs. We try to look outside the bus. We partner with agencies, travel training. We realize that I have a granddaughter that I dearly love. She's going to be 16 the end of the week. And whenever she gets in my car, she says, "Nana, give me your phone." I give her my phone and she says, "Whatever, you're not doing this right, or you don't have enough music on here, or why do you have that music on there?" And something that I don't understand how to do, I will do the long way. She'll explain to me how to do it, and she'll tell me, "You're not doing this right, do this." I'm perfectly fine with her telling me that. But if someone else's 16-year-old grandchild tells me that, I'm not going to feel great about that. I'm going to retreat into my shell. I'm going to, kind of feel awkward and maybe even stupid because I don't understand something that someone else does. I don't want to be put in that position, and I don't want to put anybody else in that position. So we have a great travel training program and a wonderful person who does it. However, she's a stranger to a lot of people who, don't know how to ride the bus. And if I'm going to ride the bus, I want to ride with someone that I know, that I trust, like my granddaughter telling me how to use my Apple phone. So we are working with agencies to empower the social workers, case managers, whatever the title may be, so that they have ID badges, just like we do. They can ride the bus for free, and then they can train somebody how to ride the bus, because they're more apt to ask a question that they don't understand something rather than asking a complete stranger. That was our theory. We've talked to a lot of people. So we're now, we have several travel trainers at International Institute. We're working with Asia Inc. We're working with a lot of mental health agencies, because we see that those connections are important, and we can't provide that. So in order to make sure that that person gets all the information they need to ride successfully, because transportation means independence. So we will do whatever we can to try to find different ways to do that. We're working with employers and trying to find different ways to get people who maybe the bus doesn't come close enough to their employer, that there's over a mile walking, maybe with no sidewalks. How do we get the person off of that big bus and to their employer safely so they can make it to their job on time? And we're working with some other agencies on SCAT-like service to try to get people to very important health appointments that they're missing. We want to make sure that transportation is not a barrier. But it's all about working with people and just, going out and talking to people and trying something. Maybe it works the first time, maybe it takes a couple of different iterations, but we're willing to do that. So this is something pretty neat. You might have seen in the Beacon Journal last Friday, I believe. Thursday was the ribbon cutting for Forever Our Children shower bus. This was a brainchild of the founder of Forever Our Children, and 2 of our employees came to us and knew about this idea, this concept that was in San Francisco, I believe, and came to us and said, "Are we going to have an outdated, big bus over the road coach vehicle that we take to Cleveland? Are one of those vehicles going to age out pretty soon? That maybe we could get in a partnership with Forever Our Children and start this journey that was a vision of the gentleman that started it." So we were able, with FTA's approval, to identify a bus that we were going to have to eliminate. Still has plenty of miles left on it, but it was beyond the FTA approval time. And we were able to help Forever Our Children acquire it. And I think the next slide might show some better pictures. They went to Camper City, and it was a 40-foot motor coach. It's like something like a AAA bus trip, something like that you would ride in, very comfortable, high. They took it out there, and a gentleman by the name of Chris totally gutted it, started from scratch, and put 2 bathrooms, independent, safe, hygienic, and roomy bathrooms in that shower bus to help the homeless population or someone who just needed somewhere to take a shower. So they should be able to do 20 showers a day. That's 5 days a week, 7-minute showers, and then they get the room for themselves. Wherever Our Children have also acquired biodegradable towels. So there's no waste, and the city has helped out with a garage to house the bus and to help out with gas and water and some other things. But if you go to the next slide, I think there are some pictures. So that's what we started at. That's our red and purple bus, and the inside of it were the seats. So there's just that narrow aisle, just like you were kind of on a plane, but in a bus. And then the last picture is the beginning of how he renovated it by giving it one straight aisle down the side, kept the windows for natural lighting. And I think if you go to the next slide, it might show some of the 2 bathrooms. That's what now exists, where previously it was a bus that was going to be decommissioned. So that's a pretty cool thing that this community is offering now. There are multiple places where the bus will be going to hang out. They also are partnered with some mental health agencies, so there'll be some people on staff at the bus to help people should they want to talk to anyone. So those are just some of the partnerships that Forever Our Children put together. We're just really proud of everything that they've done. And, you know, that's what all of us do in this community. We collaborate together. Dana and I have talked about this. Summit County really is a very special place. We live in the gray in a lot of areas because we know the needs are out there. So we work together. Even though we're separate agencies, we all come together. Lisa Mansfield and Judge Stormer started Senior Summit, and we've just been through that for this year. And it's a beautiful organization because so many different organizations come together for caregivers, for people who need to know more information. You know, all that stuff is out there. You can one-stop shopping, talk to everybody you need. So that's just kind of patting ourselves on the back. Metro is a great place. Summit County is a wonderful place. I've lived all around the country and started here and will end here. We have outstanding medical resources. I don't know if everyone's aware of that, but I've lived in LA and New York and Phoenix and Scottsdale, or worked in Scottsdale. Medical doesn't compare to what we have here. We have amazing park systems as well. You know, this is a very small, bigger town. So we kind of all know each other. We know who to pick up the phone and help. And if we don't, a lot of us know that we have resources that person will help us get to the next spot. So this is what we're here for. Building and sustaining a strong community requires affordable, accessible, equitable transportation options. That's what we try to do every day. We do it every day, and we're trying to figure out new and different ways to do it all the time. Being a caregiver is tough. I'm a caregiver. There are several caregivers on the phone with me right now. It's not easy. Being an adult child of a parent that is going down a road that is difficult and challenging is difficult, and every day is different. But you need to know that there are a lot of people out there that can offer help. You just need to reach out to someone. You know, if you're hooked up with Vantage Aging, they can direct you in many different ways. But there's, you know, if you need respite, there are a few adult daycare centers, day center services out there that are just amazing and great to the people that you're giving care to. Sometimes you just need a break. Home health aides, that's kind of where I'm going right now on my journey. Meals on Wheels, you know, we have so many people in this county to help, and I think a lot of us just don't know that. And I knew this as a professional, but when it happened to me and my family, I still had to reach out to my friends and say, okay, I just don't know where to go next. Even though I was giving advice and telling people where to go and who to talk to, sometimes you just need that friendly voice on the other end of the line, and you'll get that at Vantage Aging. And you just need a little direction on which way to go. But vibrant living for all. That is a wonderful phrase that my friend Lisa Mansfield came up with. And it's on my whiteboards in my office. And that's what Summit County really lives for. The age-friendly movement is all about that. You know, Metro RTA, we're about that. The different agencies in town. So we are here to help people live their full lives and live their best lives. So I've just added to the PowerPoint a couple community news from Adult Protective Services. They have a Outsmart the Scam thing on June 22nd. There'll be another one in August. After the presentation, there are some resources. You know, I encourage you to sign up for everything if you're not already signed up, to get newsletters, to be on email blasts. The more information you have in your hands, the better. So this is a great event that they put on frequently, and they will be in Stowe in June. I stole this off of your website. Rest, relate, and rejuvenate. So Vantage Aging is always doing something new. You know, take a look at their website every now and then, keep current on their news. You know, it may not be something that you're interested in today. It may be 2 months from now, and you'll say, oh, wait, I remember seeing something, and you'll pick up the phone and call or send an email. And then I think there's Direction Home as well, has a lot of great information for people. All this, so much is available on their website. It's a little overwhelming because there's so much information out there, but you can always pick up the phone and talk to someone. So personally, I'm grateful that I'm here in Summit County. I'm a caregiver as well, as I said, and I know that there are so many more resources in our county as opposed to counties around us or other places in the country. We have a lot of resources that all you need to do is, reach out and say, I need help. I need a hand. I need a moment. I need to talk to someone. I need to know if I don't know what other services are available. I don't know what I don't know. So there are so many people to reach out to, and I just encourage you to never think that you're in it alone, because you're not. It feels like it, but you're not. So that's my name and number if you need to contact me. And then I just have some resources behind that. So those are great resources, different meetings you can go to, websites to get information on. And again, maybe it's something that you need right now. Maybe it might be something you don't need. You might need it in 6 months or so. That's my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. I hope it was helpful. If you didn't learn anything out of that presentation about Metro, I just hope that it rejuvenates you, encourages you to reach out, to talk to someone, to find out what other resources are out there to help you in the challenging days of being a caregiver. And thank you so much for what you do for your family, your friends, because it's quite a job that there isn't really always somebody there to say thank you, but we know what it's like. So thank you.